pleasant good afternoon to all, and thank you, Mr. Williams, for your introduction, and welcome everyone to another NEOC COVID-19 briefing. I just want to address a few matters today. One being the application for quarantine waiver. And again, we have been saying that this criteria applies to students who are studying abroad and are living in St. Kitts and Nevis, persons who would have traveled overseas for critical care, that's health care, and also for the elderly over the age of 62 years of age who are living in St. Kitts and Nevis and would have gone overseas for some sort of critical care as well. This particular service that is being provided by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has criteria to it, and it's done on a case-by-case basis. So it's not an automatic service that you just receive because I am a student. We have been seeing a lot of cases of persons who have been living overseas for many years, and they decided to study overseas, and they don't want to come home for vacation or for a funeral, and they are requesting for the waiver to be granted. Again, the waiver is for students who live in St. Kitts and Nevis, nationals who would have gone overseas to study and are now returning home for vacation or whatever other reasons, or have finished the studies and are returning home. I just want to make that clear because of the number of applications we are seeing and the rationale being given for the application. And we have stated over and over that you have to show proof of some form of ID. You also have to submit with that your proof that you are a student, maybe your some form of letters, acceptance letters from the school or ID from the school. That in itself would suffice for the application. Again, it's done on a case-by-case basis, and you will receive a response whether you have been approved or not. Again, you would have listened to Superintendent Henry speak to the amendments to Section 14 of the COVID-19 regulations, along with CMO CMO Dr. Hazel Laws, who would have spoken to the procedure. Again, let me just walk you through the procedure. So you are fully vaccinated with the vaccines that are acceptable. Please visit the covid19.gov.kn website, or please review our health and travel protocols for St. Kitts and Nevis, and you will see the vaccines that are accepted here, including the mixed vaccines. Meaning that if you take a shot of AstraZeneca and a shot of another one that is approved, my understanding now is that that is also acceptable. You show your proof of that in your application of your being fully vaccinated, that 14 days has elapsed. Your application will then be reviewed. Someone will be assigned to inspect your property. Once that inspection is done using the criteria that is on the website, then you will receive, once it's approved, you will receive a letter. That letter will be explaining to you the approval and also the terms and conditions, along with a confirmation number. And that confirmation number must be uploaded to the entry form to enter the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. That is what is going to be used to cross-reference the review of your application to ensure that you do qualify for home quarantine. And that process has been fully approved. Upon receiving that, and you enter the Federation, you will still be using a COVID-19 certified taxi to take you to your place of quarantine or vacation in place. So we want to make sure that citizens understand the procedure. I must report that since this announcement was made public, we have received, actually the applications have gone up by almost 100%, meaning that once ago we had small numbers when it was security, when you had to apply security to it, but now you have more applications. Please give yourself sufficient time to receive an adequate response so that you can plan appropriately. We have receiving requests today for tomorrow. That is not applicable, and the team would not be able to process you today for tomorrow. I am advising individual to give yourself at least a 7-day period for you to get an adequate response, as the process is new and everybody is getting familiarized with the process. So give yourself a minimum of 7 days of applying ahead of time, your traveling time, so that you know if you will know if you qualify to receive home quarantine. I also want to inform the public that St. Kitts and Nevis would have experienced some of the effects of the passage of Tropical Cyclone 6, which would have passed some 100+ miles south of St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis would have experienced moderate to heavy rainfall at times, and some areas would have also experienced some thunderstorms. In this regard, I must report, and I am pleased to say, that there was no significant damage sustained as a result of the passage of this weather system. However, this is a great opportunity for you to continue to prepare, as we are now in the peak of the hurricane season, and that means you will see more activity in the Atlantic Hurricane Basin. So use this opportunity now in what we call the peacetime, where we are not being threatened or under the risk of any type of tropical activity, to prepare. Review your hurricane plan if you have one. If you don't have one, please prepare one and be prepared. So let us be proactive and let us not be reactive when these situations arises. Again, we continue to prepare for the CPL that should be occurring within the next few weeks. We have seen the arrival of a number of players in the federation, and we will have other numbers arriving in the federation soon. So we are asking the general public to be mindful of such. Again, we want to continue to encourage you to adhere to the protocols, and we are excited now that we are getting the Pfizer vaccines. Many citizens and residents have been engaging regarding their sons, daughters, and now you have the opportunity to get them vaccinated here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and you don't have to fly overseas to get them vaccinated. So now that we are getting the vaccine, use the opportunity to vaccinate your children, protect them against this virus, in particular the Delta variant. And also for those persons who spoke to me about options, I want to thank the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet and the team, and also by extension the government, who has been in dialogue with the government of the United States of America in making these vaccines accessible to us. So with that said, we are hopeful that you can support the efforts and the programs of getting our population vaccinated so that we can continue the rollout of the vaccine. And another important message I have for our friends, colleagues, citizens, and residents in the United Kingdom is that as of the 1st of September, the travel advisory against the United Kingdom will be lifted. Again, the travel advisory against the United Kingdom will be lifted as of the 1st of September. So we will be engaging with the British Airways management group for the Caribbean region, so that these flights can resume as soon as possible. So thank you again, Mr. Williams. We will now welcome your questions.